So, I've had my iPhone 6 Plus for 2 months now, and I absolutely love it. I use it every single day. It has become my mobile computer. Um, I use it for pretty much everything. What I especially love about it is the fact that if I'm outside and it's bright and I need to wear sunglasses, the sunglasses end up casting sort of a rainbow effect on the screen. So, by using voiceover, I can counteract that. I can practice my braille with the on-screen braille keyboard, which in a moving car, it's quite interesting. I've ended up with more than my fair share of typos and gibberish. Um, but if you're on a flat surface, it's perfectly usable. Um, so, a couple of highlighted apps that I enjoy using are my Vision Assist video magnifier. This app has made me realize the true potential of this technology. Now, I've always been a fan of it and I've always liked it, but the one thing I haven't liked at all is the bulk of what off-the-shelf devices, which off-the-shelf devices give you is a lot of times you end up with a device that is very bulky, which I can understand why. The vast majority of people who would use the technology are are older, baby boomer generation. There are a fair few of us who are younger though, and I think that for us, something like Vision Assist can give us the same benefits of the dedicated unit without the bulk. It certainly has for me. In fact, I don't go anywhere without my phone, therefore I don't go anywhere without my magnifier. It's a wonderful app. Another app that I sometimes use if I want to give my eyes a break is called Prismo. Prismo allows me to take a picture of text, scan it in, and have it read back to me. Another time when this is really useful is if I have a glare or other varying environmental conditions where using Vision Assist may not be the best solution. So Prismo can help there as well. And if things get really bad, like for instance, if there's enough glare to make video magnification unusually impractical and Prismo ends up screwing up for the same reason, then I can take a product, like in a Barnes & Noble for instance, and scan the barcode and they'll tell me what it is. Unfortunately, the database is not as thorough as I would like. It does not tell me, for instance, if I scan in a movie, it doesn't give me the synopsis of the movie. It just tells me this is XYZ in space or whatever. And I think personally, I think the database does need to be expanded to include that information. It does that. If we can see here in the screenshot, they're doing a screen shot of some results for pancake mix, and you can see over on the far right that it lists the ingredients. Well, it does that for foodstuffs, and it does it for instance, some lozenges I have sitting over in the corner of my room if I should ever need them. And it gives you the ingredients of food, but it doesn't give you the synopsis for movies or the track listing for DVDs, for CDs, excuse me. And I just think that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be expanded upon. Another app that I use all the time is Bard Mobile, and the Bard Mobile app is provided for free to patrons of the National Library Service of the Blind. What this app does is it allows me to download and read on the fly NLS digital talking books. And I've been on the system since I was 5 years old. I could never remember not being on the system. I started way back with the old bulky cassette players. In fact, one of the books that I really enjoy reading, Avengers Star Trek Odyssey Book 3, I actually first read back, oh gosh, was it back in high school or middle school, back when they were still using the tapes. When I found it online, I just had to get it because it's one of the books that I just love to reread, again and again. Another app that I discovered recently is Learning Ally. And for those of you who are not in the United States, NLS, by the way, is United States based and US only. Well, so too is Learning Ally. Learning Ally, which was formerly Reading for the Blind and Dyslexic, specializes in textbooks for students who are blind, have low vision, or have a multitude of learning or reading disabilities that would qualify them for the service. And so I just discovered the Learning Ally app, and I'm debating whether or not to reactivate my membership because of the major talking book services out there. Learning Ally happens to be the most expensive. Oops. Another app that I also recently discovered is called Voice Dream. Voice Dream allows me to download Bookshare digital talking books, as well as bring in stuff. You can see here in the screenshot, we've got things like Instagram or whatever the second one is, and you can bring in material to the reader. You can also bring it in from the web. The reader has a built-in web browser, and it will go ahead and get you information about the web page, and it'll read it back to you. So this is more than just a book reader. This is a very versatile app, and I think it's the best $10 I've ever spent. I do have a surprise for you, though. You probably noticed in the upper right-hand corner next to the clock that there are the letters RML, as in RML 695. You probably noticed now that I have Zoom Text back on my Mac. We go up to Bluetooth preferences, Apple Magic Mouse, Apple Wireless Keyboard. We go to About This Mac. I've got the iMac. This particular configuration is a 2.7 gigahertz Intel Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and the Intel Iris Pro graphics, which, as I understand it, Intel Iris Pro for integrated graphics is actually quite good. But yes, I have the iMac. And
2.7 gigahertz Intel Core i5.
The iMac has been absolutely wonderful. I'm no longer leaning over to look at the screen. Zoom Text, having Zoom Text on the Mac is just a godsend for me. But not only that, back when I was using the Mac with the Zoom Text trial, I had to zoom in to about 7x, okay? However, believe it or not, I can get along just fine at 3x, and the reason for that is because of the 21.5-inch screen. It's made a huge difference. It's just absolutely wonderful. The only thing I wish Apple would do would be to make their keyboard a bit more high contrast. Now, this particular keyboard design, for those of you who have seen it, it's just the typical everyday Apple wireless keyboard. And there have been a number of people that have been trying to copy the darn thing. And if you have a Mac notebook, it is pretty much the same. The only difference in your case is that your keys are probably black instead of white. Well, the problem that I have with it is the low contrast between the numbers and the print and the keys, because it's basically a gray on white. Thankfully, I've got a solution for this. Since I've already got the Macintosh keyboard, you can see here on uh, the lower portion of the screen, one of the things that I have coming.
It's 7 o'clock.
Is a skin overlay for this keyboard that will turn it from this into this. High contrast, white letters on a black background, large print, bold. It's going to be wonderful when this arrives. I want to thank all of my friends and my relatives who participated, because all of this that I've talked to you about from the iMac onwards has been a group of birthday presents to make up a whole package. Some of it's still coming. Like I said, the keyboard skin is still coming, and I'm currently running the 30-day trial of Zoom Text, and once I get the full license, which is on its way, I'll be able to enter that. I just wanted to thank everyone for making it a wonderful birthday celebration. And for those of you who are interested in learning more, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask me anything. Personally, I've used this Macintosh now for a couple days, and I could not be happier. I'm sitting straight up. I've got a really big screen. Brightness is, believe it or not, brightness is down to 1 notch, but that's because the screen, number one, is a lot bigger. Number two, it's a lot brighter. It's a much better screen all the way around. And the really cool thing is, given the fact that the iMac is sitting on its little stand here, I can just take it by the stand and move it around so that I can gain access to all the ports in the back. I'm seriously, I could not be any happier. And for anybody out there who is a low vision computer user like myself, I'm speaking from experience when I say don't skimp on the screen size. You definitely want to go with as big as you can. To be honest, I've had my 11-inch Chromebook now for a year, and a little over a year, and I would like. This is going to sound weird, but I'm hoping they just recently introduced a 15-inch Chromebook. I'm wondering if somebody's going to be bold enough to launch a 17-inch Chromebook. A lot of the gamers out there like to have the 17-inch gaming PCs, the laptops. Well, a lot of games are going online, and it'd be very interesting to see if a 17-inch Chromebook were developed, what the market for that might be. But the bottom line is, for anybody who has low vision, or even if you're not classified as having low vision, if you have issues seeing a laptop screen and you can get by without using a laptop for your day-to-day, like what I've done is, one of the reasons I got the iMac was because the Chromebook and the iPhone combined can very easily settle my portable computer needs. The Chromebook is strictly web-based. That's fine, because when I'm portable, really that's what I want to do, is I want to go online, chat with friends. I'm not interested in doing any sort of the high-end kind of stuff that I would be doing on my Mac. But, you know, it'd be interesting to see if there's a 17-inch Chromebook out there one of these days. And like I said, if you have deteriorating eyesight and you can get by with using a Chromebook for your portable needs, don't skimp on the screen size with your desktop. If you don't like the Macintosh, that's perfectly fine. The number one thing, because it wasn't just the Mac I was considering, I was also considering the LG Chrome base. The number one thing in all of my options that I've considered was screen size. The iMac was available in a 21 and a 27-inch. The reason I went with the 21 was because I felt the 27-inch would be too unwieldy in case I ever needed to send it back for repair. I was able to set up the 21.5-inch without needing any additional help, with the exception of finding a place to plug it in. Other than that, I was able to set it up completely independently. Whereas had I gone with a 27-inch, I would need to get it. I'm positive I would need to get additional muscle power to lift it onto my desk. So basically, that's the surprise. So I now have the iMac, and I've spent 2 months with the iPhone, and I couldn't be happier. Normally, I usually come up with something that I want around Christmas, and it's going to be the first year that I've actually run out of options. Anyway, feel free to comment. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.